Good afternoon, dear students. Well, very good afternoon to each and everyone. And as I informed you yesterday, that some of the literature portion that we have skipped. Okay, 30% syllabus it has been deducted. We have reduced 30% syllabus as per CBSE circular. Okay, so one or two lessons from your main course book that I have already skipped, and two or three lessons also from your reader book that we have skipped. So I hope that milk for the cat, it is from chapter 4. Chapter 5 that has been skipped, and 6 1 you can see a bond for live, Helen Keller. Clear? It's a beautiful story, and the summary part that I will explain to you, and some question answer that I am going to discuss with you. Okay, and it's a very simple story that anyone can read and understand it. Clear? You have the textbook, so I am not going in detail because this is a story. After that, I am going to teach you a poem. So whenever poem is taught, that time line by line explanation will be done. Clear? But this will come in your next examination. A bond for life, Helen Keller. All of you know that Helen Keller, she is an American author, an activist also. You can say also, you can call her also as a social worker. Now we have to understand that whether Helen Keller, by birth she was blind or deaf, that we have to discuss also, or something bad happened to her, or in the middle of her life, she lost both her eyesight and that visibility power also, and hearing power also. That also through the story will come to know. So a bond for life, I am telling you what actually it is. This is an autobiography of Helen Keller. Clear? So you know the basic difference between biography and autobiography. When you are narrating the life experience of any other person, that can be biography. Okay, if you are the author, you are narrating the story of any other people, that can be biography. And autobiography means the person himself will be narrating his or her own story. Clear? Here Helen Keller, she is narrating her story. That is why A Bond for Life, it is an autobiography. She is narrating her own story, whatever the difficulties, obstacles she faced on her life, on the way of her life, that we are going to read out, discuss also. Now you can see the story of my life by Helen Keller is an autobiography that narrates how she was struck with an illness and became blind and deaf while she was a very young child. Clear? Actually she had actually fever. Clear? When she was very young, a young child. When she took birth, when Helen was born, I am telling you, she was just like you, like a normal child. Okay. We didn't actually find, or you won't find any sort of illness when she was born. Normally, if we see that we can compare to other normal children also of her age, she was very fit, physically and mentally when she was born. But you see, it is very unfortunate to say you that She tells of her own experiences as she adjusts to the dark world as a blind and deaf person. Something bad happened to her, So first of all, we have to understand that Helen Keller, when she was born, she was normally very fit. She was just like normal children, like how they are living, you know it. Okay, physically and mentally very sound, but something wrong happened. Fever came and it lasted for longer days, and the parent could not think, because parent normally, when fever, it comes, then we don't get, panic and worried also. We think that this is might be a viral also, or any sort of disease, or means related to your fever, okay. So we normally consult doctor, and the doctor might, prescribe, some medicines for you, and after a few days you might recover from illness, but it didn't happen with her. They consulted doctor also, but nothing change, you will find in her life, rather the days it went very worst, she passed, some bad experiences in her life, So in this particular story, she will be narrating you her earliest memories of sight, the visibility, and the sound means hearing power, and her memory of contracting the illness that resulted in her deafness and blindness, Now you just go and ask a blind person, what life actually, or how does he feel. Okay, and at a time, if you encounter or if you meet a person, who is having different sort of problem, like losing visibility also, hearing ability also, you see what will happen to him or her. Similarly, she was really, when she lost, her eyesight, she started losing, slowly the visibility power, also hearing ability. Okay, and she became very much wild, started behaving in a very stubborn way with her parents, A normal life was going on, very well to do, or very well planned life the child was leading, She was at a comfort zone, but you see, when fever occurred, or when fever came, it took away, lot of things, It took away visibility and hearing ability also from Helen. So it's a very sad note, because we are reading story, but when actually it happens to us, then we can understand the pain. The pain you can understand, the sorrow, suffering you can understand when you are passing through that sort of difficulties. Okay, now this is the story. The story of my life is the story about the power of perseverance to overcome great obstacles. Helen Keller exists in a world of confusion. She describes her enthusiasm for reading and learning. She learned from Anne Sullivan how to read and write in Braille. Okay, because all the physically handicapped, means especially the blind people, they learn through Braille. Okay, and they can easily identify the letter and can speak. She went on to acquire an excellent education. But you see, when she became wild, started behaving in a different way, and parents, really it was a great concern for the parents, what to do actually. Clear? And the child won't be sent to normal school like you are sent. Okay? The parents were not even interested to send to the child to a physically handicapped school, because in physically handicapped school, all the physically disabled people are reading. Clear? Disabled people are reading. The blind people, deaf, dumb people, they are reading. Okay, have you ever visited any physically handicapped school? The teachers are different there, and the teachers are appointed there, who are having a lot of patience. because to handle those kids, you require ample patience in you. See, in our school, normal children are coming, but still some of the teachers, even me also, if you take the example of mine, sometimes see, I am losing also my anger also. I am not able to control my anger. Sometimes see, we shout at the children, because a lot of you and cry, it is there in the classroom, But you think about the teachers who are imparting lessons to such kind of children, the disabled children, who are studying. Okay, so Helen's parents, they were not even interested to send the kid to any physically handicapped school. Rather, they thought of, appointing a teacher who is a bit different from other teachers who are imparting in physically handicapped school. Now, fortunately, they found a great teacher like N.S. Sullivan. Now, you can see here N.S. Sullivan, see the instructor or see the teacher, Miss N.S. Sullivan. She was a very young, dynamic personality, and she had lot of patience, and especially when Helen's matter was put before the instructor, ki Helen is suffering from so and so, because okay, the child is getting wild day by day. She has lost her eyesight also, the hearing power also. So the teacher agreed, to teach or to handle that kid. And she came in her life, and you see what a change the teacher brought in her life. And how much patience you need to handle such kind of kids, you try to understand it. We are not able to handle normal kids, but you think about N.S. Sullivan. Okay, N.S. Sullivan, see the instructor. Mainly 3 characters you will find in the story. One is Helen, the central character. Second one, the most prominent role, the teacher, Miss N.S. Sullivan, she has taken in this story. And another one, mother. Father is there, but father is not so involved. Okay, the story, it revolves around 3 main characters. First one is your Helen, the central character, the protagonist, the real hero of the story. Okay, and she is a sufferer. Second one, N.S. Sullivan. She also takes part, equally the main character like Helen. Okay, she has also taken a lot of trouble, pain to handle such a kid like Helen Keller. She taught her how to read and write in Braille. She went on to acquire an excellent education. She became an inspiration. Helen became an inspiration, a positive influence on how society treats the blind and deaf. When she was very child, she was not ready to accept anything, She was just behaving very roughly, with anyone whosoever comes. So you think of yourself also, if you are having all of a sudden, suppose if you are also encountering such kind of problem, then what will happen to you? You just think of it. If you read the story, because it is a simple story, so I am just escaping and telling you the central story of this, the main theme, the gist of the story I am telling you. Okay, this is non-detailed. So this is a very excellent opportunity for all of you to read, text. You are sitting at home, and during Corona period, I am telling you, many students are getting ample time. You are at home, no extra work is given from school side, so you are free enough. So you can read, different story books also. You read the story of Helen Keller, and you will be very happy. It is an inspiring, very inspiring story, Okay, you will be easily motivated, and you will really try to do something good for others also after reading it. So she became an inspiration and a positive influence on how society treats the blind and deaf. With our society nowadays, some change you will find in our society. Now people are understanding, but before, I am telling you, before 20 years if I discuss, then the society was not ready to accept these people. If you are blind, then you just imagine that your life is full of darkness. People are there only to show you sympathy. But now what is happening? All these physically handicapped people, the disabled people, they are getting a good platform now, and they are trying to expose their talent. And God has given them a different sort of talent, because we can't say them physically handicapped, rather you can tell them physically abled. They are not disabled actually, they are differently abled people. What you don't, or what you are not able to do, they can do it very easily. Okay. So the story of my life by Helen Keller is an autobiography, as already we discussed, that recounts Helen's experiences as she adjusts to the world as a blind and deaf person. Now many of you are there, you are not ready to adjust. A lot of facilities are provided. Whatever you want, all of your wishes are fulfilled, but still many are there in your company. I am telling you, they are not ready even to adjust for a shortest period also. But you see about a child which is very clear for her, that something is very clear on the part of that child, that the rest of her life she won't be able to see and won't be able to hear also. For a limited days, if the doctor says you that okay, the child will be having that sort of problem, for limited days, so we can adjust. But you think about lifespan, you think about your lifespan, the rest of your life you are not able to do anything. You are not going to do anything. And what will happen to you? But before, she was also really losing patience, but when Miss Sullivan, N.S. Sullivan came in her life, then you see the way she treated the child, the way she showed her compassion, love, emotions, and the way she molded the child, really it is remarkable, and a lot of changes she brought in Helen. And sooner, the child, started, picking up, words and started speaking also. She was able to identify the differences, the object, the human beings, okay, different things. So how it was possible, that we will come to learn also. Helen learned sign language also after her illness, but she describes the isolation she left from the world around her and the frustration she felt while trying to learn. Now I am telling you, for a disabled child, how much difficulty level it will be, how much difficulty the child can face, while learning the things, See, here the teachers are teaching so much, clearly, very properly teachers are teaching, but few normal children, I can find, a lot of normal children also are here in our school, but they are not able to understand anything. If this same lesson to be imparted to a physically handicapped, the child is blind, equally blind and deaf also, and dumb also, then how much difficulty level the teacher will have, you tell me, to teach or to handle such kind of children. And Miss Sullivan knows it very well, that the child is having a lot of problem, but still she was ready to handle, and she really proved it. At the end, you will find that she became a great writer, author also, an American author, activist also, social worker also. She took the leadership quality, and did lot of things, and changed the people, not only normal people also, and especially she did lot of things, for the disabled people when she started growing up, or when she grew up. So Helen learned sign language after her illness, but she describes the isolation she felt from the world around her and the frustration she felt while trying to learn. So a lot of difficulties can come on your way because you are a physically handicapped. Okay. At the age of 6, when Helen was at the age of 6, her life changes drastically when she referred to a teacher who has had tremendous success educating blind and deaf children. The teacher was quite expert in handling blind and deaf children, and Helen devotes the rest of the book to describing her experiences learning to read, write and speak under the tutelage of her teacher, under the guidance of the teacher, Miss Anne Sullivan. She describes the sensory experiences Miss Sullivan encouraged that helped her first learn words and then learn the meaning of the words and then gain a fuller understanding of their meaning in the world around her. Not only Helen, with the help of the teacher learned a particular word, rather she understood also the meaning of that particular word or any object, suppose whenever she is touching. Not only she learned that particular word, she learned the meaning also and also learned in due course of time the connection of that object with the reality. Okay, suppose water, if we talk about water, not only she learned the very word, she not only learned the spelling of water, rather the meaning also she understood and the connection of water with the reality. What actually water? She felt it also. Okay, water is yes, something cool, something pleasant. That she sensed it also. And you see different ways the teacher, taught her and the teacher helped her learning, different things. And the different things, their connection with the reality. Okay. Though the child had never seen water, or though the child had never seen any buffalo or dog also, but the child will be able to understand that a dog is like that. Okay, the teacher, the way she imparted, Helen, clear? So she learnt the word, their meaning and their connection with the reality. A live experiences actually she had at. Miss Sullivan encouraged that helped her first learn words and then learn the meaning of the words and then gain a fuller understanding of their meaning in the world around her. Helen describes moments of insight that came over the course of her learning as she was able to connect her learning activities to her childhood memories of sights and sounds. Now CBSE has introduced something like experiential learning. Okay, whatever you are learned, what is their connection with the reality, that the teacher will be teaching you when you join actually. That is called experiential learning, and Helen has been taught, she has been taught that particular one, before. Clear? So anything, whatever taught to you, we have to understand that, whether you are able to understand it, their real meaning, their connection with the outer world. Okay. In that way, teaching will be important. Okay. Helen describes moments of insight that came over the course of her learning as she was able to connect her learning activities to her childhood memories of sights and sound. By the end of the book, the author's descriptions of past and present come together to give a story continuity and meaning. So I just recommend all of you just to go through the story of Helen Keller. It's a very simple story. That is why I have not brought the text here. Okay, some of the important questions that I am going to discuss with you also. So you read it, any sort of trouble or problem regarding the text, if you face, then you can text us. Okay, because this is non-detailed, so we are not teaching you in detail. Okay, any poem, next poem when it is there, so of course you will be taught line by line, because poem you won't be able to understand. But story, at least if you read the summary, then also you will be able to write something in examination. Clear? So all of you, today I am giving you the assignment that all of you please read the text, because I have already read the text, and once more today I will read the text also, and few insight questions that I am going to discuss with you. If you are answering, then I will think that you have actually read the text. If you don't answer, then you are not reading any textbook at home. Clear? So all of you please read and come prepared tomorrow. So some of the important points, the plot and the theme will discuss once more, okay, tomorrow. So thank you very much, and tomorrow come prepared. Okay. Simply in outer way, just I discuss a few points regarding Helen Keller. Just I told you about how a bond for life. This is an autobiography. What it tells you about the story of Helen Keller, the childhood period. Okay, what sort of trouble the child faced, what happened actually when Miss Sullivan came on her life. What the changes the child had. Okay, these all we discussed. So you read the text once, and tomorrow when you are taking part, few things we are going to discuss, like the quiz, and tomorrow we'll see, how many students are quickly giving responses, From that, I will understand that you are actually reading at home. Okay. Because reading storybooks, it can increase your reading ability also, reading skill also, it can enhance your reading skill. So whenever unseen passages and poems are given to you, you will be able to make out it very well if you have a very good reading skill. Otherwise, you will not be able to understand. Okay, so thank you very much, dear students, and tomorrow in detail once more we will discuss about the story. Thank you very much.